If you are sick and tired of how you sound because you feel stuck in this pentatonic box, this blues masterclass is for you. Or if you've heard of a triad and you've heard of pentatonics, but you're not really sure how to use them in the most musical way, and if you do, it's kind of by accident and you don't know how to replicate that, this blues masterclass is for you. If today is the first time we're meeting, my name is Alec Lehrman. I've played on Grammy-nominated recordings and I've taught thousands of students this masterclass that you're about to learn today. As an added bonus, you can go and download the backing tracks for today's masterclass so that you can follow along and implement these teachings on your own time. Now, the way that this is all going to be laid out is I'm going to do a quick playthrough demonstration of what you will be learning today. And then we're going to go through the 5 levels of blues mastery. And hint, even level 1 does not start off with that pentatonic box. Most guitar players start off the wrong way and it hinders their progress and keeps them stuck forever. So let's get you out of that rut starting now. So level 1, today, all of our levels, we're going to be in the key of C, okay? We're going to be playing C blues. So before we even jump into anything, we're going to just be playing 3 chords, C, F, and G. That is the blues, C, F, G. Now level 1, so many people get stuck right away and it keeps them trapped forever, is they say, oh, C blues. Okay, I'm going to play this pentatonic box shape. And that is just not correct. Where you need to start, level 1, at the bottom of the mountain, is that you are going to know the chords. And everything is derived from the chords. So you already actually know the chords, which is just C. You're going to know just the 3 shapes of C. C here, C here, and C here. Okay? Those are just the 3 shapes. C. It's like a C open cowboy chord, and then 2 C bar chords. And it's the same thing for F and G, okay? It's the same 3 shapes. They're just a little out of order, right? So F would be this, and then F, F, and G. Now, the reason it's so important to start off with chords rather than the pentatonic scale is the chords, A, will allow you to see all the right notes up and down the neck, and we're going to get into this, but essentially what you're going to be doing, you want to play the notes in the chords rather than the pentatonics. The pentatonics are like tracing the outlines of the chords, where playing the triads or the notes in the chords actually is like coloring inside the line. So if you enjoyed the playthrough demonstration at the beginning of this lesson, that's exactly what I'm going to teach you here today how to do. So it's really simple, but you got to start off the right way. Most players start off the wrong way, okay? So here is the idea. Now that we know our C, our F, and our G in those 3 little shapes up and down, what you're going to do is just level 1, play C, and then F and G. Level 1 is just you're going to play C, F, G. You're probably saying, okay, that doesn't really sound like blues, but just wait. It all comes together. C, F, G, and then you're going to go to the next position. C, F, G. And then you're going to go to the next position. C, and you can do F, G. So from these big chords, you can start playing triads. And if that word intimidates you, don't worry. All it means is you're going to take this big cowboy chord and just play 3 notes of that cowboy chord, right? So rather than playing all of these strings, you're just gonna play 3 of the strings. So could be like that, or that's it, okay? So level 2 is really about playing less. And if you like the idea of doing less to achieve more, this concept is for you, okay? So level 2 is now, instead of playing these big chords, you are going to play less. You're gonna just play 3-note voicings, also known as triads, which looks and sounds like this. Okay? C, F, and G. Or you could play the top 3 strings, C, F, G, okay? Now the concept I want to instill on level 2 is that you are going to flirt with the third. Okay, flirting. That just means you're gonna, be cute with it. And the third is literally, if you are playing these chords, if you're playing a C, it's this note, it's the E note. So the third is just a musical term, and don't be intimidated by that. It's just a musical way of saying the third note in the scale. You can also think of it as like, okay, if I'm just playing this chord, it's where my middle note is, my middle finger is. Same with this, it's where my middle finger is, and G is where my middle finger is. Okay, so flirting with the third would sound like this. You are approaching the third from a half step below or a half step above. That could just mean really slowly. And then for G, and then up here, you're flirting with that third. This is the note we want to hit, but you are flirting with that concept. Right there. This is the third. And then here we go, we're flirting with the third. That's in our G shape. The idea is that you are going to flirt with this, and that really gives you that bluesy sound. So notice we're not starting off with the pentatonic scale. We're just starting off with chords. So for this shape, that's how you can flirt with it, And then for this shape, and then for this shape, and then it's the same thing for F and for G. You are going to do the same thing, That's an F chord. F chord is also here. And then for G, and then right here, this G chord. So you're just flirting with this one note, and it gives you an extremely bluesy sound. Again, we are starting with chords. Level 1, we're starting with chords, and now level 2, we are just playing less of the chord. We're playing triads, and then we are flirting with that third. Now, level 2, a huge concept that you want to understand, and most guitar players get this wrong, is they say, oh, something is either major or minor. And that's just, it can be true, but it's not always true, especially in blues. So here's what I mean by that. Let's say we are playing right here, this C chord. You can go up major and down minor, and this is a huge blues lesson that you want to circle star this, because when you do this, it gives your sound an immediately bluesy and authentic flavor. So what that means is you're going to go up the scale, major, you're going to go down minor, and you're going to land the trick. You're going to resolve everything back to major. So up major, down minor, land major. So what that means is that's major, down minor, that's minor, and then land major. So major, minor, major. So up, major, down minor, and then land major. Same with F. This is a huge mental hurdle that most guitar players fall prey to. They think, oh, I can either play in the major bucket or the minor bucket. And it's just not true, especially in blues music. So this little trick will start getting your ear adept at hearing and blending both major and minor sounds. Now we are going to move on to level 3 out of 5 for blues soloing. And this has to do a lot with rhythm. So a lot of blues is nuances. It's not the fastest. It's not the loudest amp. It's not all of these things. What it is taking 2 or 3 notes and squeezing all the juice out of those notes. So we are going to go over what that means for our left hand and what that means for our right hand. Okay, so first let's start on the left hand, okay? So for the left hand, let's say we're doing something like this. Now, the way you can add nuances is add these quick little hammer-ons and pull-offs. So I'll demonstrate it at normal tempo, and then I will slow it down for you. Okay, so one more time. And what I'm doing is I'm hammering on and then quickly doing this note. It sounds so bad if you just stay on it, but if you do a quick grace note, it's almost imperceptible, but those little details will elevate your sound from like amateur blues playing to professional blues playing. Okay? So that is one example. Another example of left-hand blues rhythmic elements that can elevate your playing is quick pull-offs. Look and sound like this. And slower, that would look and sound like this. Pull off. And that is huge. So you're going to want to implement that all over the neck. Those little quick rhythmic variations will give your sound an elevated level. Rather than focusing on playing as much information as you can, this masterclass is just about identifying blind spots in your playing, especially with rhythmic elements. So level 3 is about really identifying those rhythmic elements. So that was your left hand. Your right hand, here is a big one. It's a upward rake. That sound. So what you're doing is you're going down. Let's go over what's going on in the left hand. You're just playing the 8th fret, hammering on the B string to the 10th fret, and then going on the G string, 10, 8. But what you can do in the right hand is go down, and then you're going to like tilt your pick almost like it's like this, and you're just going to go like that really quickly. And that little rake, you'll hear all the time. John Mayer does this all the time. It's a really, really great way to infuse the language that you need to take your playing from amateur to professional. So even if you're on that 5 chord, that G, you can do something like that. Those little hammer-ons, those little rakes will give you the flavor you need to start sounding better at blues. Okay, now we are going to ascend the mountain. We're going to level 4, and this is where you're going to start getting more elevated harmony. And harmony just means more chords. So up until now, we've had C, F. We've had C. And then F. C. G. C. It's literally 3 chords. But what we can do is we can add this little diminished chord, which is an F sharp diminished. And so that comes after the 4 chord and right before you go back to the 1 chord. So that would happen right here. So C, F, C. It's not going to happen yet. F, and then it happens right here. F sharp diminished. Back to the C. Okay? And that little movement you'll hear a lot in like Ray Charles songs, or you can hear John Mayer do it, or, you know, there's a Fleetwood Mac, B.B. King collaboration where they do it if you just want specific examples. But this sound happens all the time. And what you can do then to break out of it is literally you're going to play the triads or the arpeggio of that chord. So, you know, with that diminished, you can just play the notes in that chord, which sound like this. Okay? So the idea is that you're going to expand your color palette. So we're going to play C, F. Let's go through it. And you hear how that diminished would sound. Okay, F. Now let's add this diminished run. You just play that diminished. You're just playing a diminished arpeggio, okay? So the idea is that you can add these extra flavors, these extra chords to your blues, and then it'll give you a little more sophistication, okay? So you don't want to overdo this, though, because blues is essentially just normally, especially the style I'm teaching you, this little like John Mayer blues, it's really very, very simple. Like you don't want to add too much complexity, but throwing in a little bit of flavor like that goes a long way, and it'll make you sound more professional and less amateur right away. Now, level 5 is a level I believe everyone can get to, you can get to, but the problem is most people don't even notice or know about level 5. And when they're soloing, they forget all these elements that I'm about to show you. Okay, so level 5, let's go over the first element. The first element is picking volume. What does that mean? So rather than playing the same thing every time, it sounds like you're a robot. What you're going to want to do is vary the volume in your pick. So what that means is that it'll be loud, quiet, almost like you're breathing or there's a conversation. So here would be an example of that. See how I'm going up and down? There's like a way you can play loud and quiet, and it doesn't require to be at the same volume the entire time. That's really a tell that you don't know what you're doing. So keep this in the back of your mind when you're soloing. The next element at level 5 is changing your pickups, getting a different sound. Because if you're playing a blues and it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, more than 10 minutes, and you're in the same pickup position the entire time, it's going to get stale. An easy cheat code way that you can start sounding better right away without doing much is just changing your pickups. So it could be you play a phrase, you change the pickup, completely different sound. But because the pickup is different, it wakes up the listener. It'll wake people up. And then you change it. The last trick to level 5 is starting to use your fingers. So the easiest way you can start using your fingers is start doing a thing called chicken picking, which is basically you take your middle finger and start incorporating it. And the best way to start doing that is when you're playing these chords, instead of playing these full chords, just start on the third and just take your triads, and instead of playing all 3 notes at once, just ignore the middle note. Don't play the middle note. So you're just gonna play the low note and the high note. So you're gonna play these 3-note voicings, and your pick is gonna hit the low note, and your first finger, or your middle finger, is gonna pluck that high note. And immediately you're gonna have that sonic variation. Rather than everything sounding like it's coming from your pick, you're gonna have that little chicken picking sound. You really can't get it from playing with the pick. It sounds completely different than when you're using your fingers. It really gives your playing an elevated sound. So by incorporating more of your fingers and more of your body, you're going to separate yourself from the amateur players. Now that you're aware of all these techniques, you're going to be able to start implementing it. And I would strongly encourage you using the backing track that is available in this video out down and below in the description, so you can start implementing some of these techniques we talked about today. Now that you understand these pivotal concepts, you're going to want to check out this video so that you can understand how to solo more efficiently and 10x your playing. Check it out.